What's up? It's your boy Heaven Hollywood back on the IE Network. This is the Heaven Hollywood Report, and let's get to it. So, a lot of people ask me, I get this question a lot. What happened to Nicki Minaj and Tekashi 6ix9ine's friendship? Now, let's take it back to the start. Nicki Minaj and Tekashi, they came out with a song called Fifi. That was right before the Nicki Queen album. It's during the Queen era. Now, if you recall, this is when the hate train was in full effect and nobody was really messing with Nicki for the Queen album. Nobody was really trying to do, not anyone with any sort of, that was trying to come up, or not that was trying to come up, people who were trying to keep their name and was out there already, they were not trying to collaborate with Nicki Minaj because the word had gotten out, do not collaborate with Nicki Minaj. This is a fact that shout out to Spill the Sugar, in case you didn't know, made it known on their blog, and then Nicki later referenced it. If you go back to that Queen radio where she said people sending out emails and memos not to mess with me, she got that from us. Us meaning my affiliates, in case you didn't know. Go back and check out the timelines. Plus, G was emailing her management back and forth, letting her know what the time was. Now, Tekashi, at this time, was still on fire, and he decided he wasn't going to let all that stuff, detour him from doing a song with Nicki Minaj. He got on the record with Nicki, did the Fifi record. Or put Nicki on the record, because I think Fifi, I don't know whose record it was, but Tekashi didn't let that scare him away. And now remember, that record went to number 2, and it should have been number 1. If you remember back, it should have been number 1. Now, fast forward to the Trolls record. Now, Nicki Minaj is really in the position now to do 6ix9ine a favor, because now 6ix9ine is on the outs looking in. Now, to his credit, he did come back with Gooba. Gooba did go, I think, number 3 or 2. They lost out with the controversy to Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber when he said it was payola and this, that, and the other, right? Which is ironic because it was him and Nicki's record. He was accusing Ariana and Justin Bieber for using payola, and Ariana's Nicki's girl. So he's putting her in the middle of that. Somehow or another, with all the numbers they were doing for Gooba, his record got disqualified when it was clearly the most streamed record that week. That record did 1 million an hour on YouTube. So they was clearly blackballing 6ix9ine. He gets Nicki on the record for Trolls. Now, a lot of people are saying, why would Nicki do a record with a snitch? Well, there was 2 reasons. The first reason is when Nicki when the Fifi record was out, 6ix9ine never even blinked at what everyone was saying, and he still did the record with Nicki. After Sheeta, a lot of people hopped on Remy's bandwagon, and if you don't believe it, you can go look at all the Twitter, all the YouTube videos of rappers reacting to Sheeta and this, that, and the other. So any of these rappers that want to lie and say, no, I was always messing with Nicki, the proof is right out there. You can go look at all those rappers' tweets, with the exception of Drake, all those rappers' tweets and reactions. Now, Lucian Grange, who is one of the biggest executives of music, Nicki at first wasn't going to do it. Number 1, there was issues with her husband. Her husband did not like 6ix9ine. He's a street cat. He was like, don't get involved with it. But Nicki just said, you know what, I gotta return the favor. When nobody I know how he feels. When nobody was messing with me, he didn't, let that deter him from getting on the record. Nicki and Kenneth got into a big fight about that. A big argument. And he did not come on the set of the music video, even though it was at 6ix9ine's house, and even though she was pregnant at the time. He basically, because she said Lucent came with extra incentive, and Lucent said, I guarantee you will get a number one. Because on this one, they were not going to mess with his numbers. They were going to make sure he got that number one so they can benefit off of all his YouTube streams. Because remember, Tekashi at this point was at a point where he got money when he came home out of from the record label. I believe Sony or somebody gave him $4.5 million to do a record. So at that point in time, he then was in a contract. Once this record dropped, the Fifi record, not the Fifi record, the Gooba record, Gooba. Sorry, guys. Trolls. When the Trolls record dropped, okay, they were going to benefit off of that YouTube and off of his streams. Lucent Grange told Nicki, please stay on the record. You will definitely get a number one. And coupled with the fact of her just feeling loyalty towards Tekashi, she did it. All right? She did it. After that, Nicki Minaj was going to cut ties with Tekashi, but not on some hateful stuff. She was going to cut ties with Tekashi. On top of that, her husband did not appreciate Tekashi being all up on Nicki in the video. He knew Nicki was pregnant, and her and her husband really got into a big altercation about that. Because Tekashi, he felt as though being disrespectful, grabbing all on Nicki and, being close to her and rubbing on her booty and all this other stuff, right? This is all facts. These are all facts. Once Tekashi finds out that Nicki is pretty much, that's it. That's why he made the comment when Billboard was and all of these other rappers was saying, oh, the only reason you went number one is because Nicki was on the record. Now, that is, of course, it benefited him that Nicki Minaj was on that record. But at that point in time with Tekashi, remember, he had went to number two, and the record should have been number one if they didn't blackball him. And that had nothing to do with Nicki. That was Gooba. Gooba should have been number one. So this record, if he put Cardi on the record, if he put Nicki on the record, and at that point in time, I don't think anybody else. I think that only Cardi B could have been on that record with him, and it still would have did the same thing. But it's obvious that having the support of Nicki's fan base, it obviously helped. It obviously helped. But Tekashi didn't feel that way. Tekashi said, this is my record. I love Nicki to death. She's my sister. But that's my record. When did she ever go number one on her own? And at that point in time, I believe the Doja record had already went number one. I believe the Doja record was her first number one. And he made the comment, when has she ever went number one on her own? This is my record. And Nicki Minaj did not like that. And her husband told her, I told you not to work with this clown. And everyone who was warning Nicki, do not work with 6ix9ine, was telling her, we told you. Nicki took that to heart. She was going to cut ties with him anyway, but this just solidified it. Once he knew she was going to cut ties with him, because she really couldn't afford to be attached to him anymore. She's already taken enough heat. That's why was so easy to make that comment. And he unfollowed Nicki as well. Nicki unfollowed him. He unfollowed her as well. So that's where we stand right here. Do not expect any more records from Nicki and 6ix9ine. And they've had 2 hits, 2 records, 2 hits. They haven't missed yet. But Tekashi a little bit too ungrateful for her liking. It's your boy, Heaven Hollywood, for the IE Network. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And share this video with your friends.